I want to remind you that the sensitivity that makes you sensitive to stress is the same sensitivity that can deliver you from it. Hey there, congratulations on making it to this third and final installment of the Self-Healing for Sensitive Souls Highlights Replay. I'm Dr. Tabitha, and we have been on quite the journey. In Module 1, we learned about redefining sensitivity and our relationship with it. In the second module, we learned not to be so stressed out about stress. And if you have not watched either of those modules, please watch them before this final video, because each video builds on the last one and it'll help put things into context. In this final module, however, we are going to go briefly over some simple strategies you can use to approach your health and well-being in a way that's aligned with your sensitive soul. And I realize that there are going to be some of you who may want to go deeper, who may want to stay connected. And there are two ways that you can do that. One is to go down to the description below, and there are some links to connect with me directly. But I would also love to invite you into our Sensitive Soul Empowerment group on Facebook. It's a free group. It is private. And I have an invitation for you below, also in the description. So I hope I will get a chance to see some of you there, either now or in the future. And one more thing, please consider liking the video below and subscribing. It really helps us as we're getting started on YouTube and trying to reach a wider audience. But in the meantime, be well, be happy, and enjoy the video. All right, here's our final bit here. So self-healing with sensitivity requires a sensitive approach. And anybody who's sensitive and has been to a doctor probably recognizes. But again, I want to remind you that the sensitivity that makes you sensitive to stress is the same sensitivity that can deliver you from it. So here's some things that you should know about sensitive souls and healthcare. One, we know highly sensitive people may be more prone to anxiety and depression. That is a fact. However, this is not innate. This is only for people who have been exposed to a lot of disruption and trauma. Sensitive people can be perfectly fine, even thrive more than other people. Highly sensitive people are more sensitive to pain and stress and can sometimes be frustrated with healthcare providers. Like they just feel like they write them off. And what I want to say to this is that there's a big difference between it's all in your head, go away, don't, waste my time, versus awareness that there's a connection between mind and body. So get a practitioner that gets you. And HSP, by the way, is sensitive soul. HSP, people with sensory processing sensitivity, these are all the same thing. HSPs may notice subtle imbalances before visible symptoms occur, right? Because they pay attention, they notice the little tiny details going on in their body. So for you, especially, holistic systems like acupuncture, East Asian medicine, functional medicine, which a lot of naturopaths do, are great options because they're all about prevention. They notice the signs and the patterns before physical illness manifests. And wouldn't that be nice to get back into balance before you actually get sick, right? Wouldn't that be nice? And then finally, we're going to go into some self-care. So it's really important to just acknowledge that you're a sensitive person and that you have a different way that is important to take care of yourself. And even if you're not sensitive, these are really good things for anybody to do. So massage therapy and acupuncture are so good for resetting that nervous system, especially if you've had trauma or just, patterns where you just react and you go, oh my God, where did that come from? It's usually a sign that your nervous system is holding something in it that needs to be reset. So massage and acupuncture are great for that. Mind-body exercises like yoga, qigong, tai chi, gratitude practice to retrain the focus of the mind. It's so easy to hyper focus on what's wrong. And for sensitive people, it's so important to get out of that, self-focusing. My mother used to say that suffering makes us selfish. We're just thinking about our own pain. Gratitude helps us get over ourselves a little bit because, sometimes we need to do that. And remember what we're grateful for and that there are also other people in the world. Take breaks when you need to, and it's okay to take time to decompress. And super important, if you really want to be in a place where you can be a conscious participant in your own healing process, where you can really access your inner healer to make the best decisions, to hone in on that intuitive wisdom about where making the decisions that you need to do. It's really important to have a framework. And it can be, and this is something that I cover in my course on self-healing for sensitive people, but it can be any kind of framework. Something that allows you to learn to pay attention to the kind of stress you're having, to level up from unconscious, reactive, triggered, responsive to consciousness. This is where you get to be self-powered. This is where you get to take your health in your own hands and become a conscious participant in your own healing process. You're going to calm the noise of stress so you can leverage your natural connection to your instincts, your insight, and your intuition. You're going to eliminate energy leakage, because one thing about stress is that it's this constant energy leakage. If you have not been making traction with your wellness, consider this. It is only the body that heals. Everything else is just help. If you've got a cut, like even if you go to surgery to get something fixed, it's your body that has to heal it. And if you don't have the resources physically, or if you are draining your energy through stress, it's like a bucket with a hole in the bottom. You keep putting things in it. I'm putting all these good vitamins. I'm putting all these good herbs. I'm doing all this medicine. Why am I not getting better? Well, you know what? You might have a hole in the bottom of your bucket and everything's leaking. So the first part about healing is we really need to learn about where we are losing energy. And a lot of that is through unconscious stress. It's even about ruminating about things that happened in the past or things that we haven't let go of. Maybe an illness or a challenge that you have health-wise is drawing your attention to heal that very thing. And the other thing is to learn to trust your inner voice for increased authenticity and joy in life, because the very things that help you heal are the very things that allow you to unlock who you really are in life. So in summary, what did we learn today? We've learned that being a sensitive soul is a natural trait with many benefits when you embrace it. That there's a difference between arousal, which you get a little hyped up, but it gives you that energy to get through that exam. It allows you to cope with that situation, versus distress when your coping mechanisms are actually being overwhelmed. Very important. You can level up your sensitivity and use its strengths for self-healing. And and you learn some basic keys to unlock those doors to health and wellness. And some of those keys are putting together a healthcare team that understands sensitivity, daily habits to reset your nervous system, having a structure to understand and respond to unconscious physical, emotional, and mental stress, so you can access physical instinct, emotional intuition, and mental insight. quieting all that noise so you can level up your sensitivity and connect with your inner healer. So this is my final thought about sensitivity before we get into the Q&A. Sensitive people are like little tiny saplings. And if you've ever been in the country, my parents live just out in the country, you have to put a little fencing around saplings. Otherwise, the little critters will just come and chew it up like the deer and such. When we start out as sensitive, we kind of have to protect ourselves a little bit. We have to get some structures, put a little fence around us to kind of protect that characteristic of being overwhelmed. But when you do those things, and when you cultivate and nurture your sensitivity, when you become strong in it and take the time to heal and live a conscious life, you not only, you become a source of light and inspiration for the very creatures that would have sucked all your energy. You ignite your own light and you illuminate the world. And I hope all of you, in your own way, regardless of where you go today, that you will really embrace that sensitivity and that inner power of yourselves. Take the time to heal and bring your light into the world in a greater way, because it really, really needs it.